going to show you a great little home exercise to help to treat repetitive strain in the wrists and the hands and the finger joints and the knuckles. I think you're really going to like this one. Stay tuned. So go ahead and grab a towel. You'll need that because I'm going to have you using oil for this. Any kind of oil is great. Olive oil you can use. Rapeseed oil is really cheap. Almond oil. And let's go ahead and put in about teaspoon of oil, just a small amount, and start off by just warming up the hands. Really work into the joints. We want to see them turn a nice pink color right down the fingers, all the way down, each individual finger and the thumb. So we're just warming up the joints, and then I'm actually going to get into the individual joints, including the wrists, and show you how to do that. So you'll start to see I'm going a very nice pink color. That's what we want. Notice the blood really starting to collect down the hands. We don't want to do this exercise until we've got good blood flow here, lots of heat. Okay, and I think you can see we're getting great color there now. So start off just learning the joints a little bit. First of all, in your thumbs you'll feel knuckly bit here, here, and here. And then in the fingers you've got the knuckle here, 1, 2, and 3. And by the way, these two joints here, these are the ones that are most affected by osteoarthritis or wear and tear. If these are the joints that you're feeling pain and you're noticing you're getting a little misshapen in there, that's osteoarthritis. Other types of arthritis tend to affect these joints more frequently. Okay, but the more common osteoarthritis will be these ones. So let's just warm up each of the joints. Let's work down towards the thumb. As I'm doing it, I'm doing a little bit of traction as well. I'm kind of pulling that way at the same time. By the way, this feels great when you do it. Work right down over each joint. A little bit of traction. Next one. Now I would go ahead and continue doing that on the palm side as well, all the way down. You could do that for as many minutes as you like, but I want to get in and show you what to do with each of the joints now as well. So if you're having trouble specifically with these little joints, you can go ahead and rest them against your hand and just work on the joints that are a little tender. Specifically that one and that one. So I'm just really working over them. That one, same idea there. Really going into the palms of the hands, the tendons there in there. Now if you're on a computer all day, you'll really appreciate this. Feels great. And we've got lots of tendons in the hands. You may even be able to see mine. Well, not that well, but they run right down into the fingers. So see if you can feel those and really work through them. Then you can start to do a little exercise where you're going to just gently rotate, very gently. Now again, if you're having real joint troubles, you check this with your healthcare practitioner. Let's say you're working on the joint in this particular hand here. If this was the joint most affected on you, you grab a hold of that joint specifically. Good grip there, and use the thumb for strength. Right over top. A little bit of traction always first, pulling away, and then just movements. A few times in one direction, back in the other direction. So I'm just doing this and back again. If it was this joint in here, you're going to gently separate or traction that joint. Few ways clockwise, few ways anti-clockwise. This can be quite sore. So if you're not confident doing that, let's do this joint now. Then make sure you get a practitioner to do that. So let me just show you rather close up. So if we're doing this joint here, it's a gentle pulling away, circular, and the other way. Now let's move on to the wrists. Okay, let's start part 2 of this video. This is exclusive to you, the posture pupil, for subscribing to posture videos for the year. And this is the wrist portion of repetitive strain and the home treatment you can do for this. So going into the wrists now, you're going to carry on the work that we were doing in the hands. And I like to work my way all the way from the elbow down the arm and right over the area known as the carpal tunnel, which is actually just a tunnel made of the bones in the wrists and a little space that's created in there where you can see underneath the tendons here, there's actually blood vessels and nerves that go through there. And then there's quite a tight band of tissue across. And when we spend a lot of time on the computer with this extended wrist, we put a lot of strain over that area. That becomes very tight, clamps right down over the nerves, and we get these symptoms in the hands, often tingles. So first of all, I like to start with warming the wrist up right over top of that tight tissue all the way down. And in terms of how long you should do this, well, take as long as you have, really. If you've got a couple of minutes a few times a day, that's great. And again, you're looking to see some red in that area. Then do the back side as well, the back of the wrist. Go right down over the wrist and down into the fingers. That's it. Then you can actually do a little bit of exercise. What I'm doing is actually drawing a figure 8. You may hear it click a little bit, so I'm just doing a figure 8 position. My arm is staying still, but the wrist is doing the movement. You can even hold on just above the wrist with your other hand just to keep it still and do those exercises, nice figure 8s. And then I end with a real shaking out of the wrists. Really shaking it out for a good 5 to 10 seconds. And that's just a really lovely way of releasing that area.